It's the second day of the 10-day mourning period for the late British monarch Queen Elizabeth II. Tributes continue to pour in from across the globe. The longest-serving monarch passed away on Thursday at the age of 96. Her eldest son, King Charles III, has ascended the throne. He's set to be formally proclaimed today. And let's speak to our UK correspondent, Olly Barrat, who'll have the very latest on that proclamation that's set to take place, as we understand it, sometime this morning. Olly, maybe give us a sense of where you are at the moment and what the update is on the proclamation proceedings that are set to get underway.
They are underway, and the proclamation has just happened and has been signed as well at St James's Palace in the centre of London, in the presence of the Archbishop of Canterbury, the Queen Consort Camilla, Prince William as well, and the Privy Council, which is made up of government ministers past and present, as well as former prime ministers, church officials and others as well. So we started the proceedings with the formal announcement of the Queen's death. Of course, everyone in the room knew very well that that had happened. And then we moved to that proclamation, which is Charles III officially being declared as king. We will soon see Charles enter the room at St James's Palace, in which the Privy Council is currently gathered, along with the so-called Accession Council. We expect him to say something about his mother at that point. And then the proclamation will pass from here and then be read out in various other locations around the country. In London, Edinburgh, Cardiff, Belfast. There will be further gun salutes taking place as well to mark the occasion. What is happening here is that Charles is officially being declared as king. He already was king on the passing of his mother, but these formalities show that the mechanisms of government and advice to the sovereign are recognising that and proclaiming it to the rest of the country. As I say, that first stage of the proclamation has now happened. There are various more elements to proceedings. It goes on for another couple of hours, and then later today we'll see in Westminster MPs, senior MPs, swearing an oath of allegiance to King Charles. Prince Charles, now the Prince of Wales, is at these proceedings in St James's Palace, having left Windsor, where he now lives, earlier today. We expect him to return to Windsor here later today. Harry and Meghan, we understand, we think, are in Windsor too, and Windsor Castle behind me is where the Queen will end up being buried once this 10-day period of mourning and then her funeral have taken place.
Olly, what happens with the King after this entire process? The proclamation that's just happened, you've confirmed to us, and the burying of his mother, does he hit the ground running? What does the King do after all of this has come to an end?
Yes, a programme will have to be worked out for his forthcoming engagements, and some of them will be taking on things that the Queen might have been hoping to do, although she had significantly scaled back her public duties in recent years because of her health. So he'll also, you would expect, keep some of the public engagements that were in his diary before, but some will have to go to someone else because his role has changed, and he made that clear in his address to the nation last night, that some of his duties with regards to charities that he's been patron of and issues that he's enjoyed being involved with, some of those will now have to stop. And so, for example, Prince William, now the Prince of Wales, will be able to take some of those duties on board instead. I think we're now seeing the King come into the room in St James's Palace, sit on that very ornate chair any moment now, and I think we'll hear from King Charles in a moment, making a tribute to his mother. But as you say, there will be lots for him to get to once all of this period has taken place, and some of that will involve, for sure, foreign trips as well as many domestic engagements to come over the next decades.
Of course, I'm going to let you listen into King George, Olly, and we'll catch up with you to bring us some insights of what he had to share. King Charles, please excuse me there. Olly Barrat, they're joining us this morning to speak to us about the passing of the Queen, and me mistakenly calling the new King Charles III King George. My apologies for that. That is eNCA London correspondent Olly Barrat.